Hi everybody, welcome to our Young Adult Book Chat for this month. I'm Sarah, the Children and Youth Services Librarian here at Vision Australia, and I wanted to talk to you about a book that I've read recently and that I really enjoyed, so I hope you guys enjoy it as well. The book I wanted to talk about today is called Beautiful Mess by Claire Christian. It's a book that we have in our library. It's in our audio library in Daisy format, and it goes for 6 hours and 55 minutes, so not too long of a read. Before I start this review, I just wanted to preface and say that this book is probably more for older teens. I would recommend that children over the age of 16 read the book because it does have some mature themes and also some themes that can be a bit triggering for some, including suicide and self-harm. Beautiful Mess is a story about Ava. She's a teen girl who's recently lost her best friend to suicide. She's feeling very angry and adrift in the world, trying to navigate high school relationships, her relationship with her parents, and also the grief that she carries with her every day. Due to an emotional outburst at school, she ends up actually being dismissed from school, which leads to greater challenges for her. And she continues to, throughout the initial part of the book, make some quite self-destructive choices about her behaviour as she tries to come to terms with life without Kelly. There's also a book about Gideon, and he's a young man who's very shy and insular. He's dealt with anxiety for many years in his life, which has made him quite withdrawn. And he hasn't developed those social skills that he'd hoped he would have at this point to navigate through high school and through the world. He has really struggled with his mental health in the past and has previously self-harmed. He's such a gentle soul though, and he's such a loving and lovable character. He's a poet, he does slam poetry, which is really inspiring to read, and he's just a bit of a goofball. So Ava and Gideon meet. Ava's working at the Magic Kebab, which is a job that she loves, and Gideon comes in and takes a job there as well. The manager of the kebab shop's named Ricky, and it's quite a questionable institution, I suppose, in that you're not quite sure health and safety is being followed to the T, but Ricky really looks after Ava, and then he takes on Gideon, and they learn about each other, they meet. She's not quite sure about him to start with, and he's just learning to deal with being out in society, having his first job and things like that. So it's quite some awkward moments, but very funny. And then because Gideon feels a bit too awkward to speak with Ava, he suggests that they write some letters to each other. And so that begins a letter writing back and forth between the two of them. And from that, their relationship starts to grow. So I don't want to give any spoilers, but I'll just suffice to say, just stick with it. It's a really lovely book. I wanted to talk about a few of the things that I really like about the book. I think it's a great example of Australian young adult literature. It's one of my favourite genres to read, and it's something that's done really well recently, I think. Claire Christian's done a beautiful job of this story. One of the things I really loved about the book was that it portrays a really relatable and compassionate view of anxiety and depression. A lot of young adult novels nowadays do try to tackle these heavy subjects, and a lot of them don't do a very good job of it. But I thought in Beautiful Mess that it really portrays what teens are going through in a really realistic way. It feels like the author really gets it, whether she's drawing on her own experiences or of people she knows. It feels really heartfelt. And even though there's some destructive behaviour from the characters in the book, it's also good to see them having a healthy view of managing their mental health issues. For example, they speak about going to therapy and also having medication, and this isn't seen as any kind of bad thing or taken in any judgmental way, which is really wonderful, I think. And then the language around mental health issues, I think, is really positive as well. It talks about the characters, for example, having anxiety rather than them being anxious, or so really removing their condition or what they're suffering from them as a person. Because at the end of the day, they are just people and they're not broken. And I think that's what the title of the book is really saying, that people can be a bit of a mess, but there's so much beauty in that as well. I really like the characters. They give you all the warm, fuzzy feelings. Ava, she's very strong and feisty, a really great female character. You just want her to succeed, and you just want her to make good choices in her life. And Gideon, he is just a goofball, and he's really funny and relatable. I love his quirky attitude, and he writes lists, which is one of his funny little things that he does, and they're quite funny to read. And also the supporting characters. So there's a real great host of different characters in this book. I feel like every one of them has been drawn for a particular reason. For example, Ricky, he's the cranky kebab shop owner. Their parents, both Ava and Gideon's, are really supportive and awesome parents, which is nice to see in young adult books. And also, I really like particularly the characters of Lincoln and Tina. They're the brother and mother of Kelly, who was Ava's friend that died, and just seeing their journey through grief and the choices that they make around that, I thought was really interesting and really well portrayed. And I know I've talked a lot about a lot of serious topics, and it probably sounds like a bit of a depressing book, but let me show you it's not. It's actually some really funny moments in it, like laugh out loud moments, just crazy things that happen. And it's really relatable. So I think, yeah, it's definitely not too depressing, which is good. But as I said, it doesn't shy away from the big issues, this book, either. So I think it just really is a celebration of what makes us who we are, the mess that we all are, but the beauty in it as well. This is Claire Christian's first novel, and it actually won the 2016 Text Prize Award. So there's great things happening for her, which is wonderful. It's definitely easy to see why this book was chosen, and that's what grabbed my attention initially. I definitely recommend this book for older teens from 16 and over, and also for adults. I know I enjoyed it myself, so you don't have to be a teen to enjoy it. And it's great to see a young Australian young adult author doing great things. So thanks for listening today. I hope you enjoy this book and the review. And if you would like to suggest a book for us to review, please let us know. As I said, you can download this book in audio from your VA Connect app now. And I hope you really enjoy it. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.